Good morning, OTG UK. Just gonna actually, do you know what I think? Oh, comments will appear here. Okay, cool. I can't usually see the comments when I do it live, but yeah, just let me know in the comments if you're here, and happy Friday, everybody. Hope you're all doing amazing. I'm super excited to be here as part of the, I'd say new, UK Ruby and Above leadership group that was put together on at the back end of last year. You know, 12 years, is it next week? Yeah, next week will be 12 years since I got introduced to Nu Skin. 12 years, can't believe it. And over those 12 years, I've seen, not just in the UK, but other markets, especially around Europe as well, the most amount of momentum and growth that we experience is usually when everyone is coming together and working together and singing off the same hymn sheet, if you like. Apologies for the state of me, by the way. I'm in the thick of dad mode right now. I was meant to go get a haircut this morning, didn't work out, so we're just rolling with it. So I'll likely go after this live. I actually got a call after this live, then I'll fit it in hopefully later this morning. But yeah, totally in the thick of dad mode right now, but I'll share my story in a moment. But yeah, we usually see the best growth and momentum when everybody's working together, pulling together, saying the same thing, singing off the same hymn sheet. And that's not just in the UK. We've seen it multiple times in the UK. We've seen it in other markets in Europe as well. And when that momentum starts to decline is when everyone's doing really well, and then they think, oh, we don't need to work together anymore. Let's go and do all different directions, do different things, say different things. And then what happens after that is, I've seen this a couple of times now, after a couple of growth waves, the momentum starts to decline, right? So, you know, hopefully a lot of the Ruby and Above leaders have all been through this as well, and they see the power in it. And at the end of last year, you know, we collectively decided to get together, be more unified, and, you know, work together to build the UK back to #1 in Europe, which I am so confident that we're going to do this year, off the back of Prism especially. And the early signs of the Prism sales over the last December and January from the UK have been phenomenal. So the indications are going to prove us right by the looks of things. So yeah, my background, as I said, 12 years next week. Since I got introduced to Nu Skin, been the most craziest 12 years of my life, but the best 12 years as well. Had the most amount of fun, worked with the most amazing people, and traveled all over the world, which I'm so excited about, and so grateful for as well. I met my partner through the business. We've had 2 children, our second one just a few weeks ago, and yeah, I'm just so grateful that every day of my 2 little girls' lives so far, I've been at home pretty much every single day. So that's thanks to Nu Skin. My background was actually in engineering, so I had a very corporate job, started at the bottom of the company, worked my way up the corporate ladder, was so desperate to be successful from a young age, coming from a broken family and not having a lot myself, and as soon as I got the opportunity to prove myself, I did, and I worked my way up that ladder. I got, you know, promotions, pay rises every year, and life was great. I had a job there for life. In fact, you know, I could still walk back into that job today, because they still ask about me to my brother who works there, and both my brothers work there. So but I wanted more. You know, I didn't just want to be chained to a desk for the rest of my life. I wanted to be my own boss, have my own business, and I knew that one day I'd have a family, and I wanted to have time. So when I came across Nu Skin, I was looking for opportunity, but when I came across Nu Skin, it was just like everything that I'd been looking for. You know, an opportunity to build something alongside my full-time job, something that didn't require a lot of investment in money because I didn't have a lot of money, and something that was scalable, that could give you residual income and time in the future. And I didn't realize that was what I was looking for when I saw Nu Skin, but when I saw Nu Skin, I was like, yes, this is what I've been looking for. And the rest is history. You know, looked into the company, looked into the business model, and I'm one of these that, if I'm going to do something, I need to be 100% all in, 100% all in. So I didn't just sign up and go straight away. It took me a couple of weeks of different exposures, seeing different bits of information, going to events, to finally make that decision that, okay, I'm going to go all in with this. and you know, it was the best decision I've ever made in my life today. So so grateful for this business, so grateful for Nu Skin, so grateful for what's going to happen this year as well, and I'm so excited for all of you that are part of this next growth wave that's just started. So I'm here to talk about inviting and follow up. We've had some amazing calls this week, from some phenomenal leaders. I don't know how I'm going to follow them, but I'll do my best, because they are some power women that you've heard from this week. But my topic was inviting and follow up. Now I'm going to go quickly through this, but I just want to give you some golden nuggets that hopefully you can go away with and implement into your business straight away. I think the first thing around inviting is you have to be so confident in what you're talking about in terms of the belief. Because I've done all my research into this business, into the product, into the company, I was like, okay, this is legit, it's phenomenal, this is an amazing opportunity, and this can change people's lives, my life and other people's lives. And I truly believe that. So when I went to speak to people, I had so much belief in what I was doing that I did not care whether people were in, out, no's, yeses, like, it didn't bother me, right? I was just going to go and share this with the world. I was so excited. I believed in it so much that I just went out there. So the number one for you when you're inviting, I think, is where's your belief level at? Do you wholeheartedly 100% believe that Nu Skin is the vehicle to get you to the lifestyle that you want? Do you 100% believe that you will get to where you want to go in Nu Skin? Do you 100% believe in this business model, in this company, in these products, right? And if not, that's okay. You know, not everybody has 100% belief from day one, but make sure that you work on getting that belief as high as possible, as quickly as possible, and figure out where there's gaps and then fill those gaps. Because when you're inviting people to look at the product or the business, that is going to help you. It's going to come across, it's going to give you, it's going to affect your posture and everything. So belief is, you know, they say like 90% of success is mindset, right? 90% of success in anything is mindset. Mindset and belief go hand in hand. And you heard from Emma yesterday all the amazing things that she does, you know, and habits she has to keep her mindset high and good and positive. It's the same with the belief. What do you need to do? Do you need to learn more about Nu Skin? Do you need to learn more about the business model to get that wholehearted belief? Do you need to learn more about Prism to get that wholehearted belief that this is an incredible opportunity that you're going to invite people to have a look at the product or the opportunity? So belief is massive. And then when it comes to inviting itself, so what I did 12 years ago when I joined Nu Skin is I thought to myself, I thought I was smart, right? I thought to myself, right, this is a beauty business essentially, because that's what we focused on 12 years ago. It's a beauty business, and it's an opportunity, right? It's beauty and business. I thought, I'm going to go and recruit beauty business owners. Ding, light bulb moment. I thought I'd cracked it. No one's ever thought about this before with Nu Skin. Like, why? Like, it just seems like the easiest route to success, right? Go and recruit beauty business owners. Like, it makes sense. Put in the comments if you believe that was you. If that was you, if you thought day one, you thought, right, I'm going to go and recruit some beauty business owners because that's going to be the easiest path to success. And, you know, there's no shortcuts in this business, but that, for me, I'm all about where am I going to get the best return on my effort? And I believed 12 years ago the best return on my effort would be in the beauty industry, speaking to beauty professionals. I had no business going around talking to beauty business owners, right? I was not a rep. I had no beauty knowledge, nothing. And you don't have to be a specialist, skincare specialist. You don't have to be super knowledgeable on nutrition and wellness. You need to use the products, love the products, and tell people about them, and love the business and tell people about it, right? So, but I thought that'd be the easiest way. So I set around about walking into salons, calling salons to try and set meetings, and guess how much success I had doing that? Zero, right? I had zero success. And my sponsor was in the beauty industry, so she gave me a lot of tips, a lot of help, a lot of advice. You know, Catherine Freeman's one of my uplines. She's been in the beauty industry. She gave me some tips and advice. but I had zero success. Why? Because when I faced adversity and questionings from these people, I didn't have the confidence and belief and posture to deliver it through, right? And that's one of the reasons. So I quickly realized that, look, this business is not for beauty professionals, right? That's not the easiest path to success. This opportunity, these products are for anybody and everybody. Anybody and everybody. Someone used to say, if you've got skin, hair, or teeth, this business is for you, right? And you don't need all three. Very early on in my business, I wrote my warm contact list, and I highly advise all of you to do that. And then I started inviting people on my list. Now, why was that contact list so good for me? I was working full-time job, up early in the morning, back late in the evening, answering emails at home as well. And I needed to be efficient. If I wanted to build this business, I wanted to be efficient. Now, I didn't need quick success. That wasn't what I joined Nu Skin for. I didn't need money tomorrow, next month, next 6 months. This was always a 5-year project for me. If I could leave my job in 5 years, I would have been happy. So I asked my upline, what's the minimum that I need to do every single day to push my business forward? She said, you need to speak to 3 people every day about the business or products, and not send 3 messages every day. You need to have 3 conversations with people every single day about the business, okay? If you want to build a long-term business, about the business. So that's what I did. So I wrote my contact list. I had just under 1,000 names on the list. And then I sorted the list. There were some people on the list that I didn't want to work with and maybe didn't want to approach about this business. I put them at the bottom. I put my best people at the top. And then every day I'd get home from work, start messaging people on my list until I got 3 new contacts, 3 business conversations. And then I'd close my list. And I didn't do, sometimes I did more by accident. You'd message maybe 10 people and you'd get 4 replies rather than 3, fine. But I didn't, my goal was 3. Once I got to my 3, I closed my laptop, job done, okay? Why did I do that? Why? Because that's what I was told, the minimum that you need to do if you want to push your business forward. Now, it took me about 15 months to then start having a breakthrough and seeing, I had people join my business, I had people come in, leave, that's normal. But it took me about 15 months to start seeing those brand reps popping through in my team, right? 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th on my front line. Now, why do I believe it took 15 months? Because I was doing the bare minimum, okay? I saw people coming after me have much quicker success than me because they were doing way more than the bare minimum. There were people doing 5 conversations, 10 conversations every single day. And of course, they moved faster. Why? Because it's the law of averages. If someone's speaking to 10 people a day and I'm speaking to 3 people a day, who do you think is going to have the most success? Whether they're the best inviter or not. I could be the best inviter, have the best message, pitch it in the best way, the most confidence, the most belief. Do you think I will have more success than the person that's going to message 10 people and be mediocre in invitations? The person who's having 10 conversations a day is going to win 9 times out of 10. Okay, they're going to win 9. Even if they don't say the best things, if they've got the best posture, they will win because the law of averages. They're filling the funnel. They're speaking to more people. The conversion's going to be there, and they're going to get likely much more quicker success than I had. Right. So that brings me on to my next point. So firstly, make sure you're doing your minimums every single day. 3 conversations. If your goal is to be emerald, diamond, blue diamond, 3 conversations about the opportunity every day. Now that can be brand new reach outs. It can be follow-ups with customers and asking them if they're open to looking at the business. It could be anything, right? Just 3 business conversations every single day. And then the second point is, don't try and be perfect. Like, messy action's better than no action. I look back, I'm going through Facebook at the moment and I'm connecting with some people over the Prism, but I'm looking at some of the messages I sent, even like 2014, 2015, 2016, my first 3 years in the business. And some of the messages are so bad. They're so cringy. They're so terrible. And I just think, what were you doing? What were you doing? I know now that what I was doing was really bad and terrible. But at the time, I didn't, and I didn't care because my goal was just to get these conversations any which way possible. It doesn't matter if it was bad or good, whatever. At the time, I was just focused on getting the conversations. Now I look back with experience and knowledge and know, Tom, that was definitely a terrible message, but it worked. Why did it work? Because I was speaking to people every single day. I was consistent. So don't try and be a perfectionist. Don't try and have the perfect script or make sure you say that everything right to a T. Just speak to people. Just get the conversations going with people every single day. It can be online, it can be offline. There's loads of different ways to invite people. I love the 5 C's, compliment, curiosity, credibility, commitment, and control. Control is the most important part in the 5 C's, is not saying too much. If you're getting a no at the invitation stage, you've likely said too much. You've likely given someone too much information, okay? So be brief in your invite. Hey, I'm looking to connect with people that are wanting to make money. I'm on the side of what they're doing. I'm just, curious. Is that something you're interested in? Could be as simple as that. I just thought of that top of my head, right? Probably not the best message in the world, but hey, do you think people would respond to that, right? If they know you, of course they would. So warm contacts, I believe, is easier. You get the best response from your warm contacts, and I would do minimum 3 warm contacts every day. If you also want to cold recruit, by messaging people on social media, whatever, go for it. It might take you a little bit longer, but my philosophy is start with your warm contacts whilst you're building up new connections on social media, right? Your social media contacts are cold contacts, people that you haven't interacted with, haven't spoken to before. If you've got a list of over 1,000 warm contacts, whilst you're building relationships and connecting with these people, liking, commenting, replying to stories in their DMs, they're going to eventually become warm contacts onto your list. So you should never run out of warm contacts to speak to about the opportunity or the Prism. And linking back to my experience in the beauty industry, the same goes with Prism. Like, most people have never worked with this scanner. Most people are not 100% confident with the Prism. That's okay. I wouldn't, if you are not super confident with a Prism, not confident to sit down with a professional, explain what it is, explain what it does, explain how they can make money with it, then park speaking to professionals right now. Focus on scanning as many people as possible, building up your customer base, getting their confidence, getting the experience, friends and family, finding people online to meet up, wellness events, just scanning people and converting them to customers, right? The Prism opportunity, we talk about the top-down, bottom-up approach, leading with product, leading with business. It's the same thing with Prism. There's 2 ways to do it. You can scan people, do the assessments, get them on as a customer on a product, and then you can upgrade them to a business partner later with their own Prism and introduce the business opportunity to them. Or you can lead with the opportunity in Prism, right? And then if they're not interested in doing the business with Prism, maybe you can convert them into a customer. It's exactly the same thing. But where are you more confident in? I'm more confident in leading with the business with Prism. That's primarily what I will do over the coming months. I'm going to get in front of the best people that are professional in the wellness space, in the health space, explain the Prism, share the opportunity with them, get them scanned with the goal of turning them into business partners, worst case into a customer. Most people will be more confident scanning people, hundreds of people, getting them scanned, getting them on product, and maybe then introducing the business to them at a later date. You decide. Where are you more confident in? Don't get sidetracked by this person, that person, or this person's speaking to gym owners, or they're walking and talking into gyms. If that's not if you're not confident to do that, if you don't have the belief in yourself to do that, if you're not, I believe you should do stuff that push yourself out your comfort zone. So if you really want to do it and grow, do it 100%. But if you want to improve your chance of success and you're very shy with this Prism, you're not confident with it, you're not confident explaining it, then start small. Start just scanning people. Start, having one-to-one scans with people with the goal of getting them to become a customer, and then build up your confidence slowly, and then start working in the professional space, looking for health professionals, wellness professionals, whatever it is. But just look at how you can increase your chance of success. Work on yourself more than you work on your business, okay? Build up your confidence, build up your belief, build up your mindset, build up your posture, because that are all the things that you need in the business. What you say doesn't really matter. It's how you say it, how you represent this opportunity, how excited that you are, your emotion, your feeling, your posture. That's what will bring people in and get people interested in this business. So make sure you're having minimum three conversations every single day about the business opportunity. And then follow up. I don't know how many stories you need to hear. You've probably heard many of people that have been followed up multiple times. I'm, a guy that saw the opportunity, basically said yes straight away. I needed some follow-up exposures, don't get me wrong, but I was so open to it from the first exposure. Many people aren't. Most people aren't. Emma Carpenter, no, wasn't open to it straight away. 8 no's. There's so many examples of people that have been followed up multiple times. Toby Johansson, he's a $10 million earner. His uncle, for 5 years, followed up with him about Nu Skin. Okay, so make sure that when you're out there scanning people, you're getting their contact information and you are staying connected and following up with them. It's so important. Even if they're not buying products from you, how can you follow up that person or book a follow-up scanning with that person in 2-3 months time? Hey, I know you're going on products, but how about we connect in 3 months time and see if you've made any improvements, right? Because the more times you get that person's finger on the Prism device, the more chance you've got of them becoming a customer or getting involved in the business. So whether it's business, whether it's product, make sure you're following up. And I'll be honest, guys, the UK, we are probably one of the weakest markets in Europe when it comes to follow-up. We talk about we talk about transactional sales versus recurring sales, right? We are very good at the transactional sales, one-off sales, sell, but we're very poor at the recurring sales, looking after our customers, making sure they've got the results they were expecting, seeing if there's anything else they want to improve, getting them onto ADR subscriptions, right? So we need to learn and work on our weaknesses. And I think as a collective UK market, we can all do so much better at following up with our customers, really looking after them, making sure they feel valued. In your back office, I don't know if you know this, you can go in, see your customers, your members, your retail customers, and you can change a setting in the filters to get their birth dates and their addresses, right? If they're one of your customers. Go and get all your customers' birth dates, send them a card, right? People might think that's so old school, but how good would your customer feel if on their birthday they got a card from you in the post wishing them a happy birthday? Maybe they've only bought from you once. How would they feel? They would feel so good, right? So think of different great ways, simple ways, cheap ways that you can really make your customers feel valued. And let's do such a better job, because it's going to be so important, especially with Prism and subscriptions, to making sure that we're looking after them and really following up with them in a great way. So follow up is key. They say the fortune is in the follow up. It takes the average person, back then it was 8 to 12 exposures. I would imagine with social media and people's attention spans, we're probably looking at 9 to 15 exposures. So know that the sale will likely not come on a first exposure. The sign up will likely not come on the first exposure. But if you give up at that first exposure, you're never going to get them. So stay connected with people. Make sure you're exposing them. You're following up with them. You're inviting them to events. You're inviting them for a scan. You're, liking, commenting, replying to their stories, building that relationship with people, because that will pay dividends down the road. There will be people that are watching you. And I always say everyone's open to this business at one point. It's just when. And it usually takes something significant to change in people's lives. They have a baby, they get divorced, they get married, they lose their job, they're sick and tired of their job, they lose their business, or they're sick and tired of their business. There's usually a life event that happens that makes people way more open to this business. And if you're not there following up with them at that time, or at the forefront of their mind at that time, you're going to miss them, probably to somebody else. So that's everything from me. I hope that's been super useful for you guys. I know I've blabbed on a lot on this live. It was only supposed to be 10 minutes, but I hope there's been some valuable nuggets in there for you guys. I'm so grateful for all the leaders that are doing these calls. We have some amazing calls lined up in the coming days. So make sure you tune in. You never know when you're going to get one little nugget that's going to improve your business. And I look forward to the UK being back on top and the #1 market. And let's go smash it with Prism. Great job, everyone. You're already doing amazing with Prism, with a leading country after France, which is massive. And I know that we're going to smash this next preview wave. Starts on the 24th of February. My final message: make sure you're in Marbella. If you haven't, let me know in the comments who's going to Marbella, because I've been to something like 9-10 of them now, and every single one I learned something new that I can implement in my business. Still today, 12 years in the business, I went to my first Marbella 6 weeks after I joined Nu Skin. Best decision I ever made. Why? It gave me the belief, posture and confidence to go away and speak to people with confidence about this business. Marbella will do so much for you. You'll make great friends and connections in the UK and other countries, because it's a lot of fun and we do a lot of socializing. You will learn strategies that you can implement in your business for success, and you will also increase your mindset, belief, and your posture in what you're doing and what you're talking about. So be there. I look forward to seeing you all. If you haven't already, get your tickets. You can still get split the payment, 50% now, 50% later. So take advantage of that amazing offer, and I look forward to seeing you all soon. Thank you.